Certainly. Here's a reimagined version of the script in a fluid narrative form, without headings or hash marks, keeping the tone cinematic, immersive, and mysterious. More than 12 billion miles from Earth, far beyond the edge of our solar system, Voyager 2 has sent back a signal. Not routine telemetry. Not just data. This one was different, subtle, fragmented, and deeply unsettling. Scientists knew immediately. This wasn't a glitch. Something had happened out there. Something that doesn't align with any model of space we've ever known. It began long ago in 1965, not with billion-dollar labs or quantum computers, but with a young doctoral student named Gary Flandreau. With nothing more than a pencil and paper, he noticed a rare planetary alignment. Jupiter, Saturn, Uranus, and Neptune would soon line up in a way that would allow a spacecraft to slingshot from one to the next, using gravity to propel itself forward. A shortcut through the solar system, available once every 176 years. From that moment, Voyager was inevitable. Voyager 2 launched in 1977, a companion to Voyager 1, but destined for the longer, colder path. It visited Uranus in 1986 and Neptune in 1989, revealing moons we never knew existed, rings made of ice, storms with winds faster than sound. And then, it drifted into the void. No more planets, no more cameras. Just silence. Or so we thought. In 2018, Voyager 2 became the second human-made object to cross the heliopause, the invisible boundary where the sun's influence ends and interstellar space begins. This was supposed to be chaos. Magnetic field reversals, cosmic turbulence. Voyager 1 had faced all of it. But Voyager 2's crossing? Smooth. Too smooth. The magnetic field outside was strangely calm, unchanging, indifferent to solar activity. That wasn't supposed to happen. Then came the hum. Subtle plasma wave vibrations began registering on Voyager's sensors, faint, continuous, and local. Not the expected background radiation. Not from the galactic center. It was near. Too near. Then, for a moment, the Deep Space Network lost contact. Voyager 2 vanished. When it reconnected, the signal was garbled, but not random. The data had structure, like something had intentionally altered it but preserved the shape. And then, without command, Voyager reoriented its antenna. It adjusted itself. No command from Earth. No internal directive. Just instinct. As if it knew something was out there. The data that followed was even stranger. Magnetic spikes with no known source. Radiation levels unlike anything near known stars or nebulae. And an unexpected directional shift, as if Voyager had dodged something. NASA publicly dismissed it, cosmic interference, they said. Internally, some engineers gave it a name, the encounter. And then there's the golden record. Still bolted to Voyager 2's body, drifting through space with a greeting, a map to Earth, music, and whispers of who we are. A message for whoever might be out there. But what if someone already found it? What if Voyager didn't just drift through space, but was seen? Noticed. Intercepted. That low-frequency hum, the brief loss of signal, the structured corruption, it could all point to one conclusion. That Voyager 2 crossed a boundary we didn't know existed. Not a region of gas or plasma, but of presence. And then came the final shift. Voyager's orientation changed once again. But this time, it pointed back. Not directly at Earth, but closer. Closer than it had been in years. A mere course correction, perhaps. Or something else. Something deeper. A message. Voyager was never built to last this long. Its systems are ancient by modern standards, its power supply fading. And yet, it continues. As if something on the other side is holding its hand, guiding it just a little farther. Some scientists whisper that it may have touched something beyond physics. Beyond understanding. We sent a probe to explore the stars. It may have found more than we were ready to see. Maybe the void isn't empty. Maybe it never was. And maybe, just maybe, something in that darkness is listening, and finally decided to respond. More than 12 billion miles from Earth, drifting silently past the fringes of our solar system, Voyager 2 sent a signal, unlike any it had ever sent before. It wasn't routine data. It wasn't background noise. This signal was fractured, deliberate, strange. Something had happened. Something that shouldn't be possible. The spacecraft, long thought to be quietly coasting into interstellar space, had done something unexpected. Not in speed or trajectory, but in orientation. Voyager 2 had changed its angle. Its instruments, its sensors, had all redirected, not because of a mechanical error or a programmed command, but seemingly by choice. No error protocols were triggered. No loss of signal strength. Nothing that would explain why it suddenly turned its gaze. It didn't drift. It aimed. Engineers scrambled to find answers. They ran diagnostics, simulated malfunctions, tested for cosmic interference. Everything came back clean. No damage. No external force. And that's what made it terrifying. Because if the probe wasn't reacting to a fault, then it was reacting to something else. Something it saw. Something it sensed. And for the first time in its long voyage, it was no longer just listening. It was watching. Then came the silence. Voyager 2, still alive and still in contact, suddenly stopped sending scientific data. Communications were fine. Its power levels remained steady. Temperatures were within limits. But the instruments designed to monitor the interstellar medium, the plasma waves, the cosmic rays, the magnetic fields, they had gone quiet. Not failed. Just muted. NASA didn't announce the change right away. Internally, there were whispers of a strange, undocumented behavior. A leaked report referenced an autonomous suppression protocol. But no such protocol was ever part of Voyager's design. If this was intentional, if Voyager 2 stopped transmitting by choice, or influence, then it encountered something it couldn't share. Something beyond its ability to interpret or something it was prevented from revealing. As the news spread, theories flooded in. Some astrophysicists speculated the probe had passed through a region of dark plasma, an exotic and theoretical state of matter filled with anomalies that distort electromagnetic readings. It could explain some of the interference. But not the structured signal. Not the orientation shift. Others suggested something more unsettling. A pattern in the corrupted signal, buried in the noise, resembled compressed binary. Primitive, but structured. Some called it engineered. A handful of researchers in the SETI community quietly proposed a more radical possibility. That Voyager 2 had passed through the edge of something artificial. A sensor, a dormant machine, a watchtower left adrift in the galactic dark. Not a transmission, but a presence. Not a signal, but a listener. The idea was met with skepticism and fear. Because if our 47-year-old probe stumbled across a fragment of alien technology, and if that technology noticed Voyager in return, then we are no longer explorers. We are discovered. Since then, Voyager 2's behavior has grown more peculiar. The orientation changes again. Not a wild swing, just a shift. Enough to suggest intent. Enough to suggest it's still reacting. The mission, once a symbol of human ambition and peaceful curiosity, has now become something more complex. A question without an answer. Every signal could be its last. Every delay feels deliberate. Every silence is deafening. What if that silence isn't failure? What if it's communication? We sent Voyager 2 into the stars carrying music, greetings, and images of who we are. A golden record offering peace to anything that might be listening. Maybe, after decades of drifting through the cosmic dark, someone listened. And maybe their response isn't what we expected. No words. No message. Just a shift in direction. A fracture in data. A quiet decision. Voyager 2 has gone farther than we ever imagined. Farther, perhaps, than we were ready for. It may have crossed into a space we were never meant to enter. And what it found there didn't destroy it. It changed it. So now we wait. Because the question isn't just what Voyager 2 found. The question is what finds us next. And maybe, just maybe, this wasn't a malfunction. It wasn't a ghost signal. It wasn't noise. It was contact. The kind that doesn't begin with a greeting, but with silence. Tell us what you believe. Was this coincidence, or the moment we crossed the line from searchers to the searched? Drop your thoughts in the comments. And subscribe for more untold stories from the edge of the unknown.